Hello again, Mr. Y here, another edition of Mr. Y's Community Development Channel. We're going to continue talking about things that have to do with going to the doctor. Yesterday we talked about actually going to the doctor and what happens when you go to the doctor. You filled out the the questions for the passage that you read, that we read together. Today we're going to talk about medical vocabulary, which is different words that you use to try and describe how you're feeling. And as we know, how you're feeling, the word for that is symptoms. How you're feeling when you're sick. Things you can describe to your doctor. So we're going to talk about medical vocabulary. And there are two different groups here. One of the groups is level 1 vocabulary. And if you have this and this sheet, which is medical vocabulary level 1, you have 5 words. And you have questions on this side and this side that have to do with these 5 words. Ill is another word for sick. Achy is when you're feeling pain in your muscles. You usually have that when you have like the flu. You have feeling pain in all of your muscles. Swollen is when a part of your body gets bigger after being hurt. Like if you sprain your ankle, then your ankle will swell up. Dizzy, feeling like you are spinning or that you might fall. And then physician is who you go to when you are sick, a doctor. So if you're level 1 and you have this in your packet, you're going to look at those words, and then you have one side here, that's the definitions. So you just match the word to the definition. And then on the other side, you have sentences. So you have to use those same words in the word bank and fill in the sentences with one word each. Make sure you cross them off when you use them to make it easier. So this is level 1. And then also level 1, that group, they also have a sheet that is symptoms. So when you do go to the doctor, you need to be able to describe how you're feeling. So we have 5 different symptoms lists here. And each go along with a certain disease or sickness or how you're feeling. So the first thing, what symptoms might you have if you have a cold? So fill in 3 ways that you feel. Just remember when you've had a cold. How did you feel? So fill in 3 there. Number 2, what symptoms might you have if you have the flu? So what are some ways that you get affected when you do have the flu? How do you feel? Number 3 is what symptoms if you have a rash. So fill in what happens when you have a rash. You're allergic to something, you have a rash. What would you put in there? Number 4, if you twisted or sprained your ankle, how might you feel? What might happen? What might your ankle look like? And you can use some of those words in our medical vocabulary to help fill this out. Number 5, and what symptoms if you have a stomach virus? What kind of things might happen? How might you feel if you have a stomach virus? So, group C and D, these are your activities for the day. To do the medical vocabulary, front and back, and then fill in your symptoms worksheet. Groups A and B, the other group, you have a little bit different. First, you have your medical vocabulary definitions. You have a few more words. The first 5 are the same: ill, achy, swollen, dizzy, and physician. And then you have 5 more. Nauseous, which is feeling like you're going to vomit. If you're sick, you might have that symptom. A fracture, a break in the bone. You might have an accident and break a ankle or break a leg or break an arm. If you're weak, you have no strength. This usually happens when you have the flu. Numb, not being able to feel a part of the body. And then 10, fatigued, if you're very tired. This happens a lot of times when you're sick. You get really tired because your body is fighting off whatever you're sick with. So you've got your list. And then, same as the other group, you have one side that is just the definitions. You have the 10 words in the word bank there. And then you have the definitions on one side. So you match the word with the definition. Medical vocabulary definitions here. On the back side, you have sentences that you need to fill in with our medical vocabulary words. So read the sentences and fill in. Get your words in the word bank. Fill in the words that go along with each sentence to correctly complete the sentence. And then your second activity, AB, is list of kinds of doctors. We've got a list here of different kinds of doctors because when you're sick, usually you go to your family doctor first. Sometimes they recommend you go to a different specific doctor that specializes in what you might need. So there are lots of different kinds of doctors that specialize and focus on just one part of medical care. So we have the kinds of doctors here. Cardiologist treats heart conditions. Oncologist treats cancer. Ophthalmologist treats eye conditions. Neurologist treats brain disorders. Dermatologist treats skin conditions. Psychiatrist treats mental illness. Allergist treats allergies. Family practitioner, that's your family doctor, just treats basic illnesses. A dentist treats the teeth and gums. Orthopedist treats conditions of the bones, muscles, and ligaments. Audiologist, that person that treats hearing disorders. ENT treats problems in the ear, nose, and throat, hence the ENT. Gastroenterologist treats stomach and digestive conditions. Podiatrist treats food conditions. And pediatrician treats children with illnesses. So you've got your list of all the different kinds of doctors, which is important to know because then you'll know if you have something specific that's feeling wrong with you, you'll know who to look up, who to go to. So you just have a matching activity. So all you need to do, we've done this before, this is a good way to review different kinds of doctors there are there, is to match. You've got a front and back. All you need to do is match each kind of doctor to what he or she treats. That's all you need to do there. And you have the list of kind of doctors right there in front of you. So those are your activities for today, is to read up on and do those activities on medical vocabulary and symptoms and types of doctors. So it's important to know, so when you're keeping yourself healthy, you'll know if you are ever sick, what kind of words, what kind of language to use when you're describing to your doctor how you're feeling, and you'll know which kind of doctors treat which kinds of diseases and illnesses. So those are your activities for Tuesday. Keep working hard, and I'll see you on Wednesday.